Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's time to do some post-crossing. I've got 7 official ones that I can send out and some friend mail and swaps to do. A new postage stamp also came out at Canada Post last Thursday, so I bought a couple books of those, so I'm going to show you those two today. What else do we have? Yesterday I did the That Dad Guy answers video for the month. I showed all the answers to the question for February. I gave you a new question for March. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that one out and get a chance. Send me an answer to the question. That'd be great. All right, so today, after you subscribe to this video and you like and you comment and you put the notification bell on, you share it to all your friends, let's get started now that you've done all that. So this is the new booklet of stamps that came out, and there are 2 different stamps in here, and there are stickers. I like, lately they've been doing that, putting stickers along with the stamp, so you can put your postage on, but you can also decorate with the matching stamp or with the matching sticker. So what we're looking at here, in the language of flowers, offering the radiant ranunculus asiatus with its lavish rose-like blossoms is a way of saying, I'm dazzled by your charms. Also known as the Persian buttercup, ranunculus may be single or double-flowered and is composed of a gossamer thin petals and found in a palette of colors. The versatile flower is a favorite of florists and gardeners and a popular choice for wedding bouquets and centerpieces. Wow, that's a mouthful, but very beautiful. Love the purple. I don't see a lot of purple stamps, so I'm very pleased with those. So I'm glad to have a few books of those to be able to send out on my cards. And speaking of cards, let me show you the ones that I've picked out to go. First, the official ones. This first one is going off to California in the United States. He says he's a lifelong Californian. He lives with his wife, daughter, and their golden retriever named Tucker. His day job is working in a tech company in San Francisco. On nights and weekends, he serves as a reserve firefighter. In his spare time, he likes to go fishing, play guitar, go camping with his family, and he used to be a baseball player, but those years are long gone. His interests in postcards include firefighting, fire engines, fire trucks, fishing, especially fly fishing, baseball, especially cards from Korea or Japanese leagues, English Premier League, especially Tottenham, golden retrievers, camping, trailering, RVing, hiking, cooking, food, music, especially guitars, history, postcards from your home area, tourist cards, landscape cards, and greetings from cards. So lots of great suggestions, and I always find when I run into a list of things that I probably have a bunch of different cards for, it's really hard to narrow it down which one should you represent for your first time ever communicating with someone. Especially if you think, well, maybe they'll never get another card from New Brunswick, Canada. Shouldn't it be something from here? This time I've gone out of the norm, though. He said he likes guitarists. I have this Rolling Stone postage stamp card that I got from Jilly B, Living Her Life Her Way. And I figure he's a guitarist. He enjoys that. Let's try that one. There could have been other ones. I could have done some fishing ones. I could have found a baseball stadium. Maybe not Korean or Japanese leagues. I don't have those. But there were other things in there. Certainly tourist cards from this area I had. But for whatever reason, this was saying, okay, you got to put guitarists in there. That seems, he mentioned it twice in it. Once that he likes it and once that he likes the cards about it. So let's do that. All right, my next card is going off to Germany. It says he lived in a small town near Hamburg, very fond of receiving mail. So she just decided to join in the hobby. Her hobbies include reading, movies, traveling, cycling, gardening, knitting, and she's interested in everything concerning poems and literary characters, picture book illustrations, lettering, alphabets, arts, drawing of flowers, spiral staircases. Besides, I'm really confident to receive the most beautiful postcards from all over the world. I don't mind receiving interesting stamps. So, like stamps. But one thing stuck out on this one, spiral staircases. I have this spiral staircase card of a lighthouse that Sophia in Montreal made. And, you know, I haven't sent many of these ones out. And so when this person said they like spiral staircases, I thought, well, this has got to go to them. This is why I have this card, is to send it to this person. Okay. Next card is going to Pennsylvania in the United States. says, thank you for taking the time to read my profile. I'm currently 24 years old. I'm currently working full-time job and a part-time job. Busy is one extreme understatement. I have a wonderful boyfriend of 5 years. Our anniversary is on Valentine's Day. I enjoy going to the movies and watching Netflix when I do have the spare time. I love animals. Any dog, penguin, or deer-themed postcards are appreciated. Feel free to give me some Netflix suggestions of things to watch. Find interesting facts about your country, or what you're planning to do with your day. I also recently moved in with my boyfriend, so any advice on living with a partner is also appreciated. So there's lots of stuff in there. She likes dog cards. That's what I focused on. Whether I give relationship advice or not, probably not. But who knows what we'll write on there. If she likes dog, cats, and deer, I have that dog card, so hopefully they'll enjoy it. And good luck on living with your boyfriend. If you've been together 5 years, it's probably going to work out just right. All right, my next card is going to Germany. And they live in a small village, a horse town. She doesn't like big cities. I thought this was interesting. She says, since 2 years, I am in freedom, pension, and enjoying it. So she's retired. Great way of saying it, that she's in freedom. But with her freedom, she says she takes care of 3 elderly patients, works 1 or 2 times a week at a kind of a food bank, and there's still enough time for sports like walking, cycling, and the gym, baking and cooking, reading, and other niceties. She likes to travel, especially to the Netherlands by the sea, or in northern Germany. Also, otherwise looking at parks and gardens, being out in nature. She likes postcards with funny faces, toucans, Buddhas, nature, the ocean, whales, and orcas, and Harley Davidson. She likes big old sailing ships, but she'll take anything with a smile. So speaking of smiles, I've sent this card off before. People seem to enjoy it. These 3 fishermen and their catch of the day. Looking for funny faces. There is one right there. So hopefully this person will enjoy that too. It's by the sea. So things she enjoys. Okay. This next card is going off to Japan. And she says she lives with her parents, her 3 younger sisters, 1 dog, 8 cats, 4 birds, and a rabbit. She loves cats and comics and music and K-pop. She'd be grateful if you could send cats or cityscapes, scenery, flowers, natures, Moomin, Peter Rabbit, animals, arts, paintings, especially like the Impressionist paintings such as those by Claude Monet. So, Claude Monet it is. This one here, 1866, oil on canvas, Jean-Marguerite Lacade in the garden, or Lady in the Garden. Luckily, I had a few artist cards in my collection too, so that was perfect. Okay. Another card going off to Germany. This gentleman lives on the edge of a small town. He's retired, married for quite a long time, and still enjoying it. So that's good to know. He has to have a delicious breakfast at one of our many and sometimes wonderful old-fashioned cafes. He likes to have a fragrant cappuccino. Never can pass them up. Interests are handmade, so I thought it was interesting. It says handmade rock music from the 70s and 80s. Maybe it's hard metal, or I'm not sure what word he was trying to use there. But he also enjoys soccer, travel, excursions, reading fantasy or science fiction and humor books. Postcards he enjoys are natural monuments, lighthouses, pictures, historical railways, bridges, old-timer, which I vintage card, I assume. Important buildings of your hometown and country, your hometown, and street art. I saw street art and said, I just got a whole bunch of postcards about street art. And then I decided to go with this one. He says he likes bridges and he likes train history. Well, these are trains in New Brunswick. And the Trestle Bridge, I actually did a video about that last year when I was going up to Montreal. We stopped to watch it, or to look at it. So sometimes you have one thing in mind and you go with something completely different in the end. For whatever reason, I thought, I got to show the bridges and the trains. I know I had those street art, and I never seen a person say they like street art cards specifically. But we're going trains and bridges this time for some reason. Your mind works in a wonderful way sometimes. Hopefully it's the right card. If not, maybe there'll be somebody else that'll say street art. Okay, my last official card is going to Austria. And she's 61 years old, lives with her husband and their 2 sons, but their 2 sons no longer live at home because they're older. 14 years ago, she said she read about postcrossing in a daily newspaper, and now she has to say it's the one best thing that she's ever read. I really love postcrossing. I love to get a card. I love it just the same way to get an email when it says, hooray, your card has arrived, ... Which, me too. As soon as I see that, I know my card has reached its destination. It's been registered. It's got to the place it needs to be. And then one day there'll be another card in my mailbox, so that's exciting too. These are her favorite postcards she'd like to receive. City views by day or night, tourist attraction, famous places, the Four Seasons, lighthouses, castles, windmills, wintry scenery, foggy landscapes, maps, Scandinavian motifs, nutcrackers, children's, kittens, birds, penguins, puffins, owls, reindeer and moose, squirrels, hedgehogs, kangaroos, and goes on and on and on. So there's a lot of things that she doesn't mind receiving. We're going with a lighthouse. This is a lighthouse in Fredericton, New Brunswick, the capital of New Brunswick. It's called Lighthouse on the Green. It's a nice big card too, so I think she should enjoy that one. And then as well as those official cards going out, I am sending these cards out. This one here of Vancouver. Remember it fondly and well when my wife and I used to live there, and my daughter was born out there as well. So that one is going out. This one of Niagara Falls, which recently was sent to me by Eric, is going back out again. This is not the card that I showed in my video yesterday. He did send some other ones. So this one here of Alma, where you can see the Bay of Fundy is gone out, the tide is out, so the fishing boats are sitting on the floor of the water. The floor of the water. They're sitting in the mud until the water comes back in. And then this one here, this is Grand Falls, New Brunswick. And in the springtime, this is incredible when the ice and snow is all melting and the river is just raging. The waterfall is really cool. They have a zip line you can do to go across it. Not that I ever have, but you can do that. Speaking of snow before the melt, we have this coastline of Prince Edward Island with the snow. And then finally we have this card, which is the mill at King's Landing in New Brunswick. This reminded me of the card that was sent yesterday from Lieve in Belgium, and her favorite tourist place that she suggested you go to go get a drink, maybe a lager or something, and a bite to eat and listen to the water, was at a mill with the water running next to it. So when I saw this card, I thought it was interesting, but it's not going to you, Lieve. It is going to somebody else. So those are the cards that I have ahead of me to fill out, stamp, sticker, yeah, and then get them off into the mailbox. It's March break here, so my son doesn't have school this week, so there might be some interesting things going on. Stay tuned and have a magical week. Like Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?